Firstly, before going ahead with the presentation, I'll just go ahead and introduce myself. For those of you who don't know me, hi, my name is Surakshita, and I am the program head for the 100K Reach Challenge. And before that, I was the Secretary General. And I'm a 19-year-old undergrad student, and I live in New Delhi, India. Christine, would you like to go ahead?
Yeah, so thank you for kind of introducing me. My name is Christine, and I am one of your co-secretary generals alongside San. And I'm from Hong Kong, although I study in the United States, and I'm really excited to get to know some of you today.
Hi everyone, my name is Sanskriti. I go by San here. I'm 15 and I'm the other co-secretary general along with Christine. I previously served as the deputy secretary general for the 100K Reach Challenge. I am from India, but I study in Qatar now.
Great. So I'll just stop my screen share. Cool. So I hope you guys can see my screen.
It's visible.
So hi everyone. Hi again. So we'll just begin with the presentation now. So I welcome you all to the 100K Leads orientation session. So it will basically talk about the team structures that we have, along with what kind of roles you have to do in your respective positions, as to what duties and responsibilities are attached to the roles that you guys are assigned. And we'll also talk about the regional divisions that we have, along with the logistical divisions and certain basic elements of it as well. So in case you have any questions, feel free to put them down in the chat box, or you can surely ask them after we are done with the presentation itself. So first things first, the very important aspect when you join our workspace is to use the What I Do section on Slack. So as you can see, I've used my profile here. So what you basically need to do is to go to your What I Do section. So when you select your profile, there's an option of edit profile. Then you go to that and there's an option of What I Do. Basically what you need to do is to enter your position, job description, or basically the position. As you can see that I have written program head. Other than that, you can also we also have the feature to add our pronouns into our profile. So as you can see that I've entered my pronouns that are she, her. You can also add your pronouns, so it's easy for us to address you by what you prefer to go for. Other than that, there's an option here to browse channels. For instance, let's say you joined the team as a part of the press team, but you want to know about the different teams that we have here in order to go for different regions or other logistical teams. Then you can simply go to the channels option and the browse channels option and just browse the different channels that we have and join any of the channels that you want to. So going ahead, this is the very, very interesting and appreciative space of our workspace. That is Kudos. So basically what you can do here is you can go to the Kudos channel and appreciate the work of your peers, your heads, the secretary generals, or if there's someone's birthday, you can just go ahead and appreciate their work if they're doing something out of their line. And if they're doing something extra from what they're supposed to do, you can just go ahead and give them a shout out. So coming to the team structure, this is a basic outline of how our team will look like after today. So first things first, we have like the BODs, that is the board of directors of the adult leads. So for our team, we have Miss Martin, Miss Dignam as the adult lead, and Miss Natabara also as the adult lead. Then we have the program head, and that is the role that I fill in. Then we have the co-secretary generals that you guys very well know by now, that is Christine and San. Then we have a strategic mentor, that is Shana, who basically advises the regions as to what kind of things they should do as new initiative, or basically how they can improve their outreach in order to reach out to maximum number of organizations and create a partner initiative or collaboration with them. Then as you can see, there's two basic divisions, that is regional division along with logistical divisions. So we have 7 regional teams that are Asia and Pacific, Africa, Europe, India, MENA, Latin America, and USA and Canada. Along with that, we have the different logistical teams as well, that is communications, social media and press, outreach, translation, and core. And then obviously we have different team members, leads, reporters, and content creators working both in regional along with logistical teams.
So now I'll be talking a little bit about the regional structure as a whole, as well as some of the more specific job duties of being a member of a regional team. So at 100K deeds, our ultimate goal is to achieve 100,000 deeds. And in order to kind of facilitate this, our team is split into 7 different regions: India, MENA, Europe, Africa, Asia, Latin America, and North America. So essentially, each of these individual regions operate as almost their own units, and our main goal is to have these distinct regions to grow the challenge more within their own region by being able to concentrate more on local outreach, for example, or working directly with organizations or schools to achieve these deeds. And each region is led by a regional head or co-regional head, and underneath the co-regional heads is the deputy head, who will primarily act as the liaison between the regional heads and the entire team. Then we have our regional leads, who are in charge of helping us to facilitate the goals that each region sets. And the specific duties and responsibilities of leads is to conduct direct outreach with local organizations and schools. Your co-heads and deputy heads will obviously help provide more information and details on this, as well as the regional spreadsheets where all of this outreach will be tracked. And your basic responsibility will be to email potential partners, introduce the challenge, and maintain these partnerships throughout the year. And maintaining partnerships is really important to take note of, because this is really important to ensure the quality of partnerships remain high and deeds are continuously submitted. And this would mean that challenge resources should be sent out to partners regularly, and progress should be monitored and assessed with the help of your co-heads. And lastly, as the 100K deed challenge continues to grow and evolve, up-to-date resources will be needed, and it's expected that leads will help with creating these new resources. And now moving back to the more overall regional structure of the team, here are more specific duties and responsibilities of being a regional head or a deputy head. So as a head, it will be kind of responsibility of making a definite structure of the team with your co-head of region, deputy heads, and leads. And it will also be your responsibility to host weekly or bi-weekly meetings with all the members of your region, making sure that everyone is updating the master spreadsheet and the regional spreadsheet to ensure that there is no overlap. On top of that, you're also in charge of sending out weekly reports and updates to the regional heads channel and attending the bi-weekly leadership meetings to update upper leadership on the progress that's been made in your individual region. Lastly, similarly to the role of the lead, it's really important to just maintain solid partnerships with schools, organizations, and conferences for the best interests of the challenge. And as a deputy head, your kind of job description is quite similar to that of a regional head, where you'll be working very closely with them and helping them to build out the team. And whenever a head is busy or may have to take leave, it is also your responsibility to step up and act as the acting head in these situations. And lastly, as I mentioned before, a deputy head will kind of act as the link between the regional heads as well as the general team and make sure that things go smoothly within the entire region.
So I'll now continue with the logistics division. So we have basically we have like 4 to 5 logistics teams, starting off with translation. So translation basically try to translate all the materials that we have into different languages, just so it's accessible to everyone. So we have a head of translation, followed by deputy heads of translation, and then we have language managers, and then we have translators. And our next logistics team, our website and choir, they just have co-heads. Then we have communication, which includes both social media and press. So we have a head of communications, and then with the press team, we have a head of press, we have co-editors in chief, then we have editors followed by reporters. And then for the social media team, we have head of social media followed by content creators and then content writers. And then for our outreach team, we have co-heads of outreach and co-deputy heads of outreach. So now we'll be talking in detail about the duties and responsibilities of each in particular logistics team. So the press team ensures to write 5 to 6 articles per month, which are posted on our website. And they try to cover different aspects of the challenge, dedicating it to, let's say, specific SDGs or international days or deeds. The structure laid down is how the team works. The articles are first submitted by the reporters, and then the first level of editing is done by the various editors we have. And then it goes to the editors in chief for the final edits, and then the articles are posted on the official 100K Deeds website. Our press team also writes a few articles which are featured in the community magazine every month. And then for the social media team, the team's main goal is to keep our social media handles active and engaged for all our followers and the viewers. So they follow their timeline to pre-design posts, link special emphasis on any international holiday event, Muni or 100K Dates event. So in case you want to post out on our social media for anything that your team is doing, you need to inform our social media heads at least a week before, so they can be done with the designing and having the correct caption up for that post. And the post can be scheduled on Hootsuite as soon as it's completed and verified. And our social media and trust team both manage their content through Trello boards, which if you're a part of that team, you should have access to the Trello boards. And up next, we have the translation team. So the translation team has the most number of members, and all the members are translating each and every material that we have, just so our content is accessible to people of different regions. And knowing English is not like a basic necessity for having access to our toolkit or a read card. Again, translation team also has a Trello board, which keeps track of all the materials that is translated or that needs to be translated, along with the status of each translated material. We have our translators are translating materials in like 20 to 25 different languages to overcome any linguistic barriers. And that's like a great achievement for our team, because 20 to 25 languages is not that easy. And we have been consistently translating into all of these languages. And then one of our important team, which is outreach, which has to be functioning like throughout the challenge, just so we have more partnerships. As Christine focused, that's like the main aim of region heads and all the region teams. So our outreach team plays a very important role here. So they cover 3 spheres of outreach, that is through social media, celebrities, as well as NGOs. They will be in charge of reaching out to celebs through 100K Deeds official handles, just so it's more professional. And they will also be managing regional outreach and helping out region heads for outreach specifically dedicated to SDG organizations. So in case you come across a particular conference or an NGO which you want to reach out through 100K Deeds official Instagram handle or any other social media handle, you can definitely let our outreach team know, and they will be acting as the point of contact between that organization and the particular region. And up next, these are certain do's and don'ts that you need to take care of when while serving your time in 100K Deeds. So if you can just have a quick, if you can just read these quickly, and if you have any questions, you can definitely ask any 3 of us, or you can type them down in the chat. So we're not gonna like read them because there are a lot. So if you can just like quickly read them yourselves, that would be great.
Yeah, plus we'll be sharing a link after the meeting as well. So in case you did not go through it right now, you can go through it after the meeting as well. Cool. So here are like some few more do's and don'ts. So 2 things that I'd like to emphasize here is that make sure that you should be like as professional as you possibly can be, and try to reach out to your heads in case you have any kind of issues. And if they're like major, can feel free to reach out to either me, Christine, or San, and we'll be happy to help you with it. I definitely like any kind of grievance. And if there's like something major, then we'll definitely reach out to the BODs, and we'll make sure that any kind of issues that you have are resolved. Other than that, don't be afraid to like speak about the suggestions you have to improve your team or for the challenge itself as a whole. Because initially you might be like, as it is mentioned here, you might be hesitant or overwhelmed just because of the fact that you're new. So don't feel like that. We try to be as inclusive as we possibly could, and we try to provide opportunities to people at every level, irrespective of the positions that they hold. So one of the major one of the most important things in our team is the leave policy. Just because of the fact that initially people used to take leaves and they didn't come back after that, just maybe because of some personal issues or stuff like that. But just make sure, in case you have something of that sort, you make sure to inform us. And as you can see, that leaves up to 3 weeks are permitted. And in case you need like 6 weeks or let's say 7 weeks, just because of the fact you have exams, APs, or something of that sort, you can just mention that in the attendance channel that we have in our team. And just make sure that after the duration of 3 weeks, you're doing the work that you have. It's not a necessity to attend the meetings. And in case at any point throughout the challenge, you're feeling that the workload is too much for you to handle, you can reach out to your heads or me, San, or Christine, and we'll help you reduce that workload so you can work proficiently as well as efficiently. Cool. So that's kind of it from our side. Do you guys have any questions that you would like to ask? So I have one. Uh, we will surely share the PPT on the main channel. Uh, we expect for like the duration of the tenure of the reporters, basically expect you to be associated to our challenge throughout. But in case you have some issues or you want to leave the team because you want to gain other experiences, you can just let us know like 3 weeks prior to your resignation so that we know whether when you're going to leave, and we know that we have to find a replacement of yours in that particular space.